Blame the bitter cold for a decline in blood donations as well. LifeSource, a blood center in Rosemont, says donations are down 30%. It relies heavily on donations from high school and college blood drives. They don't happen if the kids are not in school, but it's not yet a full-blown shortage.
Hey, our old friend Greg the Vampire went looking for blood donors at Six Flags Great America. Here he is.
I'm here with Katie and Enrique, and they're inside the crazy, haunted, scary house in the Six Flags Great America. But they've got something really kind of crazy, cool, going with LifeSource Blood Center, correct?
That's right. Actually, anybody that donates blood at LifeSource will get a discounted admission ticket to come to Fright Fest.
How much of a discount?
We'll get $20 off.
Blood! That's crazy. This is my friend Tammy. She works at the LifeSource Blood Centers. How's it going?
If you donate blood at our Gurney Donor Center, September 30th through October 4th, you'll get discounted tickets to Six Flags. And you know, anytime's a good time to donate blood, but around this holiday season, we're trying to scare up some more blood donors.
So this guy has been pretty busy. Look in it's Ben Stein. Look, win Ben Stein's money, only he's bald. Wow, this place is pretty cool, but you know, this really cool, like donating blood. Like if you go to LifeSource or even find one of these vans and go in there, it doesn't take long, it's quick, it's easy, and oh, I don't know, maybe save like 3 lives or whatever. Or if you go with another friend, that's 6 lives. And I'm not trying to be the count, I'm just saying.
Down at our rendezvous, please come with you.
Six Flags Fright Fest runs through October 27th. If you donate blood at the LifeSource in Gurnee this week, get a discounted ticket.
Stay with us. Top stories coming up next.
This is the cave of the vampires.
Connie Payton teams up with Cubs legend Andre Dawson to help prevent childhood drownings. It's the #1 cause of death for children under the age of 4.
Now Payton and Dawson are opening a new swim school in Chicago to teach kids how to survive. NBC5's Christian Farr has that story.
It might be tough to watch. Children being tossed into a swimming pool. But this is the major part of a swimming program that can teach very young children to save their own lives.
And knew that I needed to get into this as a passion to make sure that what happened to me never happens to another parent.
Company president Mindy York has been preaching the benefits of this program since the day when her own child almost drowned. In just 5 30-minute sessions, York's instructors teach children how to first turn if they fall into a pool. They then learn to kick towards the edge, and finally they are taught to reach in order to pull themselves to safety.
There's swimming lessons and there's water survival. We do both, but the first thing that we do is water survival because they need to learn to know what to do.
And this is what this program is all about. Making sure that these children can save their own lives.
And for federal workers going unpaid, they must make tough decisions about which bills to pay. Even the necessities could be hard to come by. But they're getting help all around our area, that is. NBC5's Christian Farr reports.
At this food pantry in Skokie,
anything you go to the grocery store and see, we're getting.
Offering a helping hand has always been its mission.
We have perishable food, cold food, hot food.
And those who operate this pantry want to make sure that a special recently in need know they exist.
It's important for those who aren't receiving a government check or who are furloughed to know that we are here.
For the past 10 years, Mark Collins has served Niles Township as a trustee and helped build up this food pantry during his tenure. Collins and pantry manager Tony Araki know that many federal government workers have been impacted by the shutdown, and they want to offer those workers some help.
We are going to help any federal employee with federal identification as long as the government is shut down.
We are here for those people who fall between the cracks. We don't let you fall very far between those cracks, and we help you up.
Township officials say they have not serviced any furloughed federal workers just yet, but they want those workers to know that they will never run out of any food or any other items that they'll need during this shutdown. In Skokie, Christian Farr, NBC 5 News.
Recovering.
And at this hour, people are lining up inside a suburban restaurant to buy a burger and to support Tim Jones. He's the Park Forest police officer shot in the line of duty.
NBC5's Trina Orlando's at the Culver's in Madison with more on this night of giving and a huge amount of support. Trina.
Yeah, Rob and Mary, and what an amazing turnout here at the Culver's in Madison for this event. Take a look. You can see it is standing room only in here at this hour. The line to get food is wrapping the whole way around the restaurant. Outside, it is bumper to bumper. I can tell you this was all put together very quickly, so all indications are it was a huge success.
Just a few minutes.
Now to some other news. When a Wakanda teenager was diagnosed with cancer, he had one goal: to make it to his senior graduation. Well, now he has another goal: to give back to those who helped get him there.
WGN's Aaron Ivory has his story.
The battle against cancer looks different for everyone. For Pearson Gibbous, it meant 56 radiation treatments, months of chemo, and over 100 blood transfusions. And now that he has beat it, he wants to give every unit of that donated blood back to someone who needs it.
Blood products don't last forever, and blood can't be manufactured, so it really is us relying on donors to be generous and selfless and come in and give up an hour of your day to donate.
Wakanda isn't a big town, which means word is getting around fast. Pearson wants people to know he's grateful. He never got the senior year or scholarship he dreamed of, but this last month he stepped back out behind the plate with a smile, knowing he can handle whatever life pitches his way.
I'm playing. I'm there.
Giving with Gibby Blood Drive is this Saturday, May 5th, from 9 until 3 at the Wakanda Fire Department. If you want to donate, we will post a link to LifeSource appointment page along with this story on WGNTV.com. Aaron Ivory, WGN News.
Go Gib.
This is CBS 12 News at 3, and here's what's trending right now.
It is a tragedy that is all too common here in Florida. Just this week, a family in suburban West Palm Beach is mourning the death of a 4-year-old boy who drowned in a lake at an apartment complex. According to data from the USA Swimming Foundation, Florida leads the nation in child drowning deaths, and one woman has made it her mission to change that. CBS 12's Treasure Coast reporter Erin McPherson spoke with her and a family who says their life has changed because of the Baby Otter program.
This is Macy, a 2.5-year-old who can now swim better than some adults, all thanks to Baby Otter.
It was designed by me out of necessity.
Marlene Bloom started the program 40 years ago when no one would teach her fearless daughter how to swim.
Don't teach swimming until they're 3 years old.
But children that young are drowning.
It's never too early to protect your child.
Their mom, Melissa Piazza, says she used to be scared of her kids being close to the water, but now that's all changed.
Now we spend hours at a time at the pool, and they will just keep going and going and going like an
Hello. Reporting in Port St. Lucie.
Can you tell everyone bye? Say bye.
Bye. Bye. Erin McPherson, CBS 12 News.
Bye. So cute. Well, Baby Otter has lessons for anyone from crawlers to senior citizens. For more information, just head over to our website, cbs12.com.
Kathy Brock, Ellen Krzyzewski, Chuck Gowdy's I-Team Report, Sports with Jim Rose, and Weather with Chief Meteorologist Jerry Taft. ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 6 continues.
Milestone today for Palatine's Mr. Blood Drop. George Serena donated blood at the Life Source Community Center in Arlington Heights. The 87-year-old today made his 160th donation, now totaling totaling exactly 20 gallons, and it comes nearly 70 years to the date of his first donation at the age of 17. That's when he rolled up his sleeves to give to a dying uncle, and he's been doing it ever since.
Well, it's not your typical 21st birthday, but it was very special for a Park Ridge man.
Today, Jimmy Rancic decided to host a blood drive at his home to celebrate his birthday. In 2013, Jimmy was diagnosed with a rare form of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Over the last 4 years, he's had numerous surgeries and blood transfusions. So to give back, he invited the LifeSource donor bus to his home to host a blood drive. It's the third time his family has hosted a blood drive, and we are happy to report Jimmy is now cancer-free.
Fine, tonight you can own a piece of history thanks to the Salvation Army. They will be auctioning off some items, including replicas of the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl rings, a portrait of Elvis Presley standing alongside the great Johnny Cash, and a photo of Muhammad Ali with the Beatles. The items are now at a Hyatt Place Hotel in South Central El Paso.
There are bid sheets set up. They would simply fill out their name and phone number. What's unique about this is every bid wins. So the idea is to get here sooner rather than later, so you end up paying less for the item that you want.
The winning bidders will have their items shipped to their home for free if they like. Salvation Army says the items will be switched up every 6 weeks, so you can always bid on something fresh. All the money will benefit, of course, the Salvation Army.
Mark your calendars. One of the most delicious days of the year is almost here. National Cheese Curd Day. It happens Monday, but we get a little taste of the goodness this morning. We have Baron Waller, the owner and operator of Culver's Restaurant on South Martin Luther King Drive here, along with his operations manager, Byron Waller, who also happens to be his nephew. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Are you excited about National Cheese Curd Day?
Very, very excited.
I got to admit, I didn't know.
Polish culture took center stage in Skokie today with the kickoff of Niles Township's Coming Together celebration. Today's event at Niles West High School marked the beginning of a 3-month arts and education program that will feature more than 60 free events highlighting Polish history. ABC 7's own Alan Kraszewski served as today's Master of Ceremonies for the 10th annual celebration. There he is. There's that one.
So elegant.
Yes.
And you're elegant.
There's a very critical low blood supply in the Chicago area, and donors are urgently needed. That's the word from Vitalant, which used to be called LifeSource. It says there is only a day and a half worth of blood on hand, and as a result, Vitalant says some hospitals have postponed surgeries, including those involving life-saving organ transplants. All types of blood are needed. Vitalant has 17 area donation centers where you can give blood. Contact the Vitalant website, or you can call that number right there on your screen for more information.
All right, from womb to water. Would your child know what to do if they fell into a pool? Well, every year around 4,000 people drown in the United States. Many of the victims are children, making it a silent killer and the leading cause of death. Victoria moms are taking a stand against this statistic, and that's where we find Abby Rocha this morning with our story.
Turn, kick, reach. Baby Otter is helping prevent drowning one child at a time.
Good job, sweetie. Good job.
After less than a week of training, 1-year-old Parker can now swim better than some adults.
Oh, perfect. If they can crawl into a pool of water.
Mindy York dedicating her time to Baby Otter after nearly losing a child herself.
But first, here in Florida, we are surrounded by water, which can be an added danger for your children.
But an 18-month-old boy from Port St. Lucie, he was able to save himself after he fell into a swimming pool. WPTV News Channel 5's Ryan Hughes tonight tells you about this lesson every parent should consider.
Reach, ready, set, go, turn.
Michael Rojas Williams is only 18 months old, but he's already learning how to survive in the water.
It was in seconds, literally sitting right next to me.
2 weeks ago, while at his aunt's house in Palm Beach Gardens, Michael put his skills to the test after falling face first in a swimming pool.
He's reaching for the toy and he falls off the step. And he's completely submerged.
But thanks to private lessons from Baby Otter Swim School, Michael was able to turn around, swim to the pool, and pick himself up.
Jim, thank you.
Well, it's been over 2 weeks since that deadly warehouse shooting in Aurora, and today in Lombard, strangers got a chance to give back to first responders. They took part in a blood drive. It's to make sure responders have the resources they need when a tragedy strikes.
You see it on the news and you hear about it, so it's the small things that we can give back and do on a personal level.
And if you don't like needles, you're in good company. A lot of people we met today don't like them either, but they said they felt a sense of duty after Aurora. 5 people were killed, as you know, when an employee opened fire at the Henry Pratt Company on February 15th. First responders were able to save lives, including 6 officers fired upon. The drive was organized by Vitalant. They told us they need 400 blood donations a day to meet the needs of the Chicagoland area.
Well, if you're a fan of sports and entertainment memorabilia, we know how you can get your hands on some pretty interesting items. 3 local businesses offering public auctions featuring photos of famous Colorado athletes like John Elway, Peyton Manning, as well as landmarks like the old Mile High Stadium, the new one too. The money from the bids goes to a very worthy cause, Special Olympics Colorado.
All the money goes towards their uniforms, their venues, all the sports that they do.
Holiday Inn and Suites, Courtyard by Marriott, and Western Slope Ford are participating in the auction. You can find some of the items at those locations. Bidders who win will have their piece of memorabilia shipped directly to their home in a custom-built frame. And by the way, the State Winter Olympic Games start tomorrow at Copper Mountain.
From the station that's working for you, you're watching Fox 4 News at 5.
A tennis coach keeps a secret for years, but now reveals it in hopes of serving others. An Overland Park tennis coach found out years ago that he has a serious chronic disease. Only now, at age 32, is he telling students and others in hopes they'll see the disease is no match for the human spirit. Stroke after stroke. No hint of Anthony Perkins' stroke of misfortune. It hit him 6 years ago on the court.
And I suddenly felt the side of my face, left side of my face drop and get very numb, as well as my legs, my arms, all down my left side.
Anthony has MS, multiple sclerosis, a chronic disease that breaks down the covering on nerve fibers and can take away balance and movement. After moving to the Metro 4 years ago, the coach at the Midtown Athletic Club kept it a secret from students and most coworkers, figuring he looks fine.
First of all, I didn't want people to think I was lying, and secondly, I just didn't want the sympathy for it either.
But recently, Anthony saw a story about a basketball player with MS who signed a 10-day NBA contract.
He's saying he wanted to be the face of MS, and I thought, well, I could do that.
Anthony is raising money for the National MS Society, taking pledges for competing in that U.S. Open qualifier. And on June 15th, he'll have a fun benefit at the Midtown Athletic Club that includes tennis and a silent auction. We have details at fox4kc.com. Marilyn McCain, Fox 4 News, working for you.
Pains for this program. Some of the best collegiate tennis players in the country in town for the Indoor Tennis Championships. Evan Fitzgerald learned for 2 local brothers on the Illini squad, it meant an extra special homecoming.
Illinois has one of the top tennis programs in the country. And with the Illini in Chicago this weekend for the ITA Indoor Championships, it was more than your average homecoming for Chicago area products, Jared and Aaron Hiltzik.
We're used to the courts because we played on them in the past, and we'll have our fan support, which will definitely be nice homing, and we'll have our parents that can watch us.
It's not an exaggeration to say the brothers grew up on these courts here at Midtown Athletic Club. Jared was almost literally born here.
Welcome back. We first met Jenny Woyan back in 2011, a deaf tennis instructor still buzzing about her first Deaf Olympics experience in Taiwan. 2 years later, we're happy to find out that bigger and better things are just around the corner.
4 years ago, I did not even know this existed.
80 countries, 3,000 athletes, and some of the best competition the world has to offer. Jenny leaves for Bulgaria tomorrow to compete in her second Deaf Olympics. Backing here in Chicago, Midtown Athletic Club is funding the entire trip.
Midtown's like a second home to me. I love it here. I'm always here a lot. I feel like it's almost my first home in a way. I'm never home.
I really appreciate it. And you know, during the Orlando crisis, the first thing we heard was that people were lining up to give blood, and Chicago was a part of this blood donating process because LifeSource received a call for help from Orlando. This is Eva Quinley with LifeSource. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning.
Tell us what you did for the folks in Orlando who needed blood.
Well, because the blood was needed in such a large quantity, One Blood went through their supplies very quickly, and the blood that people are lining up to donate won't be ready for 24 to 48 hours. So they called us. We were able to ship blood out in a matter of hours to them, and we were very happy to be able to help.
But now you need to replenish.
We do. We do. You know, one of the things that the tragedies do bring out blood donors, but we need those blood donors to remember that we need blood all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
And we're going to meet people all throughout the morning who need it almost monthly or have had moments in their lives when they need it immediately to save their lives, and LifeSource is there for them, and you can be there for them as well. We'll see you here until 2 p.m. We'll have more coming up around town.